Hi everyone. Today we're going to be working with creating email templates. So when you create an email template, you can use it two ways. You can use it to do a mass email, so you can pick a group of your contacts and email to them, or you can do an email on a one-to-one basis. If you do an email on a one-to-one basis, it'll depend on your email setup within your firm. So some people do not use email through Salesforce. They'll just use their Outlook. Some people will have a connection from Outlook into Salesforce. But the email templates generally only work if you're emailing from Salesforce. Okay, so that would be basically if I were to go up here under Accounts and I were to pull up a client, and then I were to go to my client activity history here and then click send an email. So that's a one-on-one email. Then we have mass emails, and then as I was saying, we also can trigger an email. So we can tell the system that every time we put in a new client, send them an email, or every time I set their status to something in particular, send them an email. And that's done using what we call workflow rules. So we'll probably have a class in the future on workflow rules. But that's a little bit more advanced. That's an admin feature, and it depends on whether you have control to do workflow rules. Okay? So what we're doing today is just learning how to create the template, and then next week we're going to learn how to actually use the template. So to create an email template, we're going to go up here to your name, click Setup. That's going to open up your screen over here on the left. What you see here will depend on your rights within your system. So you may see everything that I see. You may not see all that. You may not even have rights to do email templates, which you could ask your admin for rights to do that, because you should have that ability. So then I'm going to come down to Administration Setup, Communication Templates, Email Templates. When you go into email templates, you're going to see some already there, and they are provided by Salesforce, and there's a small group of them. We do have two folders. We have my personal email templates and then the unfiled public email templates. So the unfiled ones are the ones that come from Salesforce. You also can put your own in the unfiled. So unfiled public means that if you create that template in that folder, everyone will be able to see it. If you create a template in my personal email, then no one will be able to see it. Okay, and then this is a custom folder, and you can do that by just clicking Create New Folder, and you can create your own folder, and then you can say who can see that folder. Okay, so that's available as well. So I'm going to click New Template, and I'm going to create an HTML template. The HTML template will look a little bit better. It's formatted a little bit better. The text template would not allow you to put a letterhead or a logo of any form in there. So I generally pick HTML. And then you decide which folder you want to put it in. You want to turn on this available for use. Where this can be effective is if you want to do a public template, but you don't want everybody to see it just yet until you're completely done with it and you've tested it and everything. So then you can leave this off, and only you will see it until you make it available for everybody else. And then you would give it a name. The unique name will show up automatically. You do want to have a letterhead here, so I'm going to pick this Sycamore letterhead. Letterhead is basically your logo, or just what you want at the top of the email, and that you can put into your system by going over here on the left to letterheads, and then you would just upload your logo, and then it would be available here. You're going to pick an email layout. Usually I just pick formal, letter, and it's just different margins and things like that. The description you want to put in, that's what you're actually going to see in the activity history. When you send an email, it automatically puts a copy of that email in the activity history, indicating that you've sent that email, and this is the description that would be on that email. And I'm going to click Next. And this is where we build the email. So we're going to put a subject. So this is the subject that the user or the client is going to see. Now I'm going to say welcome to, and I'm going to put a variable in there because I want to welcome them to, I guess my company wouldn't vary, but just to show you how you could pull in a company variable name, I'm going to pull the variable there. So up top we have our different fields. And these are first showing us all of our different record types. So you have contacts, you have accounts, you have beneficiaries. So these are all different fields that are available that you can pull. Now we're going to be running this email from an account, so we pretty much have to stick to fields that are on the account. Okay, they show you all the other fields, but if you run it from an account, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to go get those other fields. If we scroll down toward the bottom, we have an organization fields, and this is where it would hold the name of our organization, the address of our organization, and that should be set up by your system admin. So I'm going to pull the name, and then it gives me a code, okay? And I would then take that code and copy it and paste it here, okay? So again, this is not a great example of a variable because your company name isn't generally going to vary. But if we come down into the body of the letter, so I'm going to click down here and I'm going to say dear, and then I want to pull my client's name. So I'm going to go up here to my fields and I'm going to go up to accounts because that's what you use. Your clients are accounts. And then I'm going to come into my field drop down. I'm going to see all the fields that are available. At the top are going to be my standard fields. And then we scroll down and we can go into then custom fields. So if I were to pull here first name. So it'll say Dear John, Dear Mary, Dear James. Okay. If we don't want to be that formal, then we would want to look for their last name, and then the other field would be their title. Their title is going to pull, is it title? I'm sorry, it's not title, it's salutation. Their salutation would pull Mr., Ms., Mrs., for example. So then you could say Mr., and you put your space in, and then their last name. Okay. Stick with first name. Okay, and then you would you could go get your letter if you have it already typed up, which I did. I want to type it again. Okay, and then paste it. Or you can just start typing here. Okay, so this is just a letter saying it was nice meeting you. I think, and then again, I could put in the organization code there if I wanted to. You have to be careful with your spacing. Okay, and then this says, I look forward to our next meeting, which is tentatively scheduled for. Okay, so you have to kind of know the fields on your account. So if I go up here to an account, and I guess most of you should be aware of the fields that you have available. So in your account, you can create what are called client meetings. So you create your client meeting, and then that generates this information down here. So it'll show the last time that you met with the person and then the next time that you met with the person. We have a class on just how to use the client meeting. Basically, you rate people and you indicate how frequently you want to meet with them, and then it'll calculate the next meeting date. Okay, so I'm going to pull this date into my email. And so that's called next target meeting date. So I'm going to go back over to my email template. It's an account field, and then I'm going to go in here, and it's a custom field. I can usually hit N, yeah, so I can hit N to go down to the ends, and there's my field, next target meeting date. And then I copy that. Okay, is tentatively scheduled for, and then it would pull that date. period. Okay, and then if I'm an admin and I'm creating these for other people, I want the name of the closing to be variable as well. So I can come up here to fields and I can pull user fields. So that's whomever's logged in. And then I can pull the user's full name or first name. Okay. And then whatever else we would, put in here, we could put our organization name again. And we could pull our email down there. We could put our phone number down there. Whatever it is that you want. Okay. You then can highlight all of this and set your font. It doesn't have a lot of formatting, but it has some formatting, and the fonts are very limited and the sizes are a little weird, but you have to just kind of play with that to get the look that you want. And then you click Next. And then this is the text version, and this is if somebody has their HTML turned off, how do we want it to look? So all we do is say copy from the HTML version, and it just takes the information and just puts it in plain old text. And then usually the enters are messed up, so I just fix those. And then save. Okay, and then it did pull in my logo. And what I can do here is send a test and verify merge fields. So I can say send test, and then I can pull, I don't know if I'm in here, an account. So it'll pull that information from that account, and then I'm going to send it to myself so that I can see how it looks. And now that should send a test. After I do send the test, it actually shows it to me right here. So we can see that it has taken the name of my company here and taken the next meeting date. And then it took my name, which is I'm signed in as admin, my company name again, and then the email address that is attached to this login. And that's how you create an email template.